Hi there. Before we get into today's interview, I want to talk real quickly to Christian business owners, decision makers, and church leaders. You know, Salem Media is known throughout the United States for its Christian teaching and conservative talk radio stations. Well, what many people do not know is that we are a full digital marketing company. We help both companies and ministries in the online space. We connect companies through digital marketing with new potential clients and customers. And we also connect churches with those people in their communities that should be in their pew on Sunday morning. So why not partner with a company that shares both your Christian beliefs and your conservative values? Why spend your marketing dollars with companies that do not share your values or many times are in opposition to them? So we want to help you with your goals. So reach me today. You can email me at patrickhoban@salemtc.com, or you can call me directly at 651-289-4412. We don't come in just as salespeople. We come in as consultants. We want to hear what you desire, what your objectives are, and then we strategize with a whole team of people to come up with a plan to help you achieve those goals. And if you're a church leader, we come up with a plan to help you connect with those people that God has ordained to be part of your church community. So reach me today, call me, email me. I would be happy to schedule a time that is convenient for you to see what we can do to help you with your marketing goals. Now, on to today's interview. God bless. Are you searching for a church to call home or a ministry to get involved with? Welcome to Ministry Connections. I'm Evangelist Patrick Hoban, your host and the local ministry director here at AM 980 The Mission. Each week we introduce you to a local church or ministry that is making an impact on the Twin Cities. Now you can listen to past and present programs on our YouTube or Facebook pages. Just look for AM 980 The Mission. Anyway, today we have Suzzanne Fox, Executive Director of Ruth House of Hope. Welcome to the program, Suzzanne.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, and we're glad to have you here. One of the things that we like to do is not just highlight churches, but ministries that are making impact. And your ministry is making impact on many different lives. But before we get into that, Suzzanne, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your background.
Sure. So I am from a place called Crossville, Tennessee. It's a small town in East Tennessee. We've lived in Minnesota now for about 20 years. I'm married to my husband, Tim, and we have 2 grown children, Molly Grace and Pilot.
Well, it's a bit different between here and Tennessee.
It is slightly different. It's really cold there now, too, though.
It is.
They have some snow.
It's a beautiful state. I used to like traveling through there quite often on the way down to South Carolina. Now, how did you come to your faith in Jesus, and how much of an importance is that to you, Suzzanne?
Yeah, so my faith is very important to me. I was blessed in that I was born into a family of faith. I accepted Jesus as my Savior when I was a really young girl. My grandfather was a Baptist preacher, and he made me promise that someday I would be a missionary. So I feel like the mission of Ruth's House has really let me fulfill that promise. I'm not a missionary in the sense that I'm not serving overseas, but I can serve where I live. So.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned Ruth House. For our listeners, tell us exactly what Ruth House of Hope is.
Yes, so Ruth's House is a transitional shelter for women and children, and it's located in Faribault.
Faribault, Minnesota, just
That's right.
South of the Twin Cities.
That's right.
And tell me, how many people have you ministered to over the years, and how long has Ruth House been going, first of all?
So first of all, just to give you a little bit of history of Ruth's House, so we opened 20 years ago. This is our 20th anniversary as of August of this year. And it started from our founding executive director, Ruth Hickey, really had the vision that God had laid on her heart to help women and children in need. So she took that vision to her local church, Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Faribault, and met with a group of women and the pastor there who are now known as the Founding Mothers. And so they met together and they prayed and they asked God for God's guidance in fulfilling that mission. And in less than a year, they were able to locate a shelter. It was a home purchased from Catholic Charities, and they were able to get Ruth's House up and going. And that was also with the support of the local community. They really just came together and did things like helped paint resident rooms, dropped off computers as needed, just all sorts of things to get Ruth's House going.
So they acquired this house. How many rooms are in that house?
So we can serve 9 families at Ruth's House of women and children.
So 9 whole families.
That's right.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right.
And over the years, how many do you think families have been ministered to over the years?
We approximate about 2,400 families.
2,400
That's
families
right.
that have a
Yes.
direct...
Or, I'm sorry, individuals.
2,400 individuals
Yes.
that have directly been influenced and helped through Ruth House.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
amazing, over 20 years.
Yes.
And it's continually going. Now, how did you get involved?
Oh, that's a great question. So I was actually working at the local YMCA, and I saw an ad in the paper where they were looking for volunteers. My background is working at domestic violence shelters, so I had the opportunity to volunteer at Ruth's House, and as soon as I got there, the executive director there said she didn't want me to leave. So I ended up working there, becoming the volunteer coordinator, and worked various office positions at the time. And I've been there about 9 years now.
About 9 years.
Yes.
And when did you come into your present role?
Yeah. So it'll be 5 years in February.
5 years
Yes.
in
So right the start of 2020.
2020. So are you working there now full-time?
I am. I
Wow.
am working there full time.
You're directing
Yes.
the whole program there.
That's right. That's
Wow,
right.
amazing. And, you know, a lot of people are kind of separated from the domestic abuse situation. Tell me what that looks like, a domestic abuse situation.
Right. So it just depends. Everybody has individual experiences. Unfortunately, 1 in 4 Minnesota women are affected by domestic violence, so it's more common than most people think. It's the leading cause of injury amongst women in Minnesota.
Physical injury now.
Physical injury,
Wow.
yes. That's not even to account for the mental injuries, too. We see most of the women that come to us have experienced domestic violence. Either they're fleeing domestic violence or they have had domestic violence in their past. So it's something that we see on a regular basis, unfortunately.
And so these women are looking for a safe place. Is
They
that
are.
it?
They are.
And so how did you provide that safe place? How did they find out about you, first of all?
Right. So they can find out through local references. The Hope Center, we work with them quite often too. So if they're calling a domestic violence line, they can get connected with us through that way. That's another resource. Local authorities, if they reach out to them, they will refer them to Ruth's House by word of mouth too, as well.
And so, say a woman comes to you, has 1 or 2 kids, and they're
Right.
looking for a safe place.
Yes.
What's your program there? The transition, obviously you want to get them on their own 2 feet, but
Right.
what does that look like,
Right.
Suzzanne?
So when the women come to us, they come as they are. And a lot of times that may mean that they come to us with nothing but the clothes on their backs. So we can help meet those physical needs pretty quickly. You know, we can provide diapers for their kids. We have some clothing there too. We have school supplies, those sorts of things. Each family has their own bedroom that has a lock on their door. So they have that safe at first, you know, when they lay their head down at night, they're in a safe place. So their physical safety is something that we can take care of right away. As they stay with us at Ruth's House, they'll receive case management support on a weekly basis and sometimes more often as needed. But we really just want to build trust with them. We want to hear their stories. Everybody has a unique story. So we want to find out about them, and we want them to trust us as well. So from there, we can connect them to resources. Every family has different needs. Some may need daycare. Some may need employment. They may need to find a doctor, those sorts of things. So we sit down with them, and together with the resident, we come up with an individualized service plan.
So you assess their needs,
Yes.
how to get them back on their feet,
That's
how to
right.
move forward. I'm sure the emotional stress on some of these ladies, women, and children, it must be immense.
It is. It is. The fortunate thing about Ruth's House is that there are other families there, and they really help each other out. They'll watch each other's kids while, a mom needs to get a break, go to the grocery store. We have volunteers from Carleton College that come over on Sundays and provide respite for the moms too.
Okay,
So we try to just meet whatever needs that they have.
And then you meet their immediate needs.
That's right.
Of safety, their physical needs, maybe their counseling to move forward, how to deal with their situation. What about their spiritual needs? How are they met there,
Right.
Suzzanne?
So we can help them find a church home if that's something that they're interested in. We are there setting examples with them in terms of parenting, spiritually, whatever needs that they have.
I would imagine a lot of people come from really a kind of a broken situation. Now, how can people get involved with them if they want to get involved,
Yes.
Suzzanne?
Yes.
How can they do that?
Absolutely. So the best thing you can do is go to our website, which is Ruth's House MN, like Minnesota, ruthshousemn.org. And from there, if you are a woman that's seeking shelter, we have an application that you can fill out. We also list our volunteer opportunities. So we have lots of volunteer opportunities. One that's really important is a front desk receptionist. So what they do is answer the phone, answer the doors. They'll go and, if they need to get a pack of diapers for the resident, they can go get that. And that really allows our staff to spend that one-on-one time with the residents there. So that's one way they can help out. We also have group volunteer activities too and opportunities if folks would like to learn about that. And of course, if they want to help and make a donation, that would be greatly appreciated in any amount. And you can do that right at our website.
Of course, and that's important. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the community that are getting involved. You have a big event coming up on when? February 8th.
On February 8th. It's called our Helping Hearts event. And this is our biggest fundraiser at Ruth's House, and we do have some limited tickets available too, and you'd also find those at ruthshousemn.org.
Okay, super. And what kind of people get involved in the donation? Are there companies, individuals?
Yes.
What kind of things happen?
So currently we don't receive any federal or state grants. We do receive some foundation grant funding, but mostly it's individual support, community support, churches, and businesses. Too, so.
And they all volunteer. So you can volunteer your time, you can volunteer your resources. What are the practical implications? And can you tell me a story, you don't have to name names, of somebody that came to Ruth House and they found their journey all the way along and now they're living on their own 2 feet or they're doing something really tremendous?
Yes, so I'm thinking of a young lady who came to us and she has 2 kids. And one of her children, he was really struggling. He was preschool aged, and we had noticed some behaviors in him as well, and just kind of encouraged her to, have him diagnosed or have him checked out. And it turns out that he has autism. So we were able to connect her with resources for that. And this resident, she, more than anything in the world, she wanted to be a good mom, and she was a good mom, and she is a good mom to her kids. She had some setbacks, and one of them being that her brother had passed away while she was living at the shelter too, and she was able to secure her own home while she was at Ruth's House, and she's doing really well today.
And she's on her own 2 feet now?
She is, and she's moved out probably about 1.5 years ago, and she's doing really well. The average stay is 4 to 6 months at Ruth's House, and a lot of times it takes that long for women to get their feet underneath them and to progress in their own journeys.
So say that again. How long now would it take?
The average stay is 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. So this is a big commitment on behalf of your team and also them, and you can monitor them and get them forward. That is a tremendous story. How far-reaching, where do people come from? Is it just in Faribault, or is it all the way around here?
Yes, so we are located in Rice County, but we serve women all over Minnesota and beyond. So we're able, as long as we have room, and we have a constant wait list, but as long as we have the space, anyone is welcome. Any women and children are welcome at Ruth's House. Wow,
amazing. Now, I'm sure that you would like to expand. If there were expansion dreams available, what would that look like, Suzzanne?
Yes, so expansion dreams would be being able to serve more people would be the most important. Like I said, we do have a continual wait list. So to be able to serve everyone that has a need within our reach would be amazing, to have the proper spaces too, so we could carry out our programs. Right now we're in a home that was built over 100 years ago. So it has, constantly in need of repairs.
So you'd like to expand maybe into another home or more space or another location or something like that?
Yes, that would be fantastic if we could do that.
And how many are on your waiting list as we wrap up
I
here?
think there's around 18 now.
18 people, families.
That's right, 18 families.
Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing. And just one more time before we close, what is the website again for Ruth House?
Ruth's House, mn.org.
Ruth's, with an S, House, mn.org. Well, you have been listening to Ministry Connections here with Suzzanne Fox of the Ruth House of Hope, and we'd love for you to connect with them. Until next time, this is Patrick Hoban saying, God bless you, and get involved. Get involved with a ministry out there that you would like to see get blessed, and also tune into our social media websites on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to see you there. Anyway, until next time, this is Patrick Hoban saying God bless you. Bye-bye.